Put on the video, Harshit.
Yeah, John. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stvapitam Nabhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padam
Vande
Ham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dena Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Maheshwari Rishabhanostute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye
Vancha Kalpata
Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaurabhakta Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Today is Ekadasi. How many of you are doing chanting today? Special chanting. Good, Harshit? Good, Jitesh?
I am also doing.
You are already in temple. Yeah, there's a lot of disturbance there. Rohan, switch off your audio. Okay. So, we have completed chapter, right? So, from now it is going to be more interesting. So, are you feeling the Bhagavad Gita class is interesting?
Yes, Mother.
When
Yes, Mother.
From now it will be more interesting because we are getting into the main crux of Bhagavad Gita. We have finished first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now we have come to the 7th chapter. Absolute knowledge of the absolute. Absolute means total knowledge is given in the next in this chapter. So till now in the first 6 chapters we talked about karma yoga. The first thing is called, the section is called. So here Krishna spoke about Sankhya yoga, he spoke about Jnana yoga, and he also spoke about Ashtanga yoga. And here what was Krishna's message? Is to perform work as an offering to the Supreme with detachment of the results. That means Krishna is never asking us to sit idle. And sit idle saying I am going to do puja bhakti. No, he is telling perform your work as an offering to Krishna, and don't worry about the results. Whatever good for us is there, it will happen. So first chapter is full of questions from Arjuna, for which Krishna answered in the total Bhagavad Gita. Second chapter, Krishna differentiated, he explained what is a living being. He explained about the soul. He explained about living and non-living beings. Okay. Again, that part, again, whatever he has explained there, today we are going to touch upon. So then he has also told that one has to realize oneself by performing yoga, that is by linking with God. Yuj means link. So by performing yoga, if one links by doing his prescribed duty, and he also said you have to link with Krishna by doing your prescribed duties as an offering to Lord, and that is nothing but karma yoga. If by knowledge, if you link, it is jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga. If by meditation we link, it is ashtanga yoga. All these 3 are towards realizing the soul Krishna. But finally Krishna said, Bhakti yoga is the greatest and highest of all yogas. 6th chapter end. He says, a yogi is greater than karmi, jnani, and tapasvi. So, become a spiritual seeker of, and realize God is what he has explained. So, first 6 chapters is working with detachment, that is karma yoga. So, bhakti yoga is work with detachment is bhakti yoga. 6 to 12 chapters in the middle. The total Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters and 6 to 12 chapters. The middle part, 1 to 6, one section is done.
Mataji, mute. Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
You're unmuted, Mataji. Mataji, you're unmuted, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, that means I am unmuted from long.
No, Mataji, we couldn't hear you only for like a minute or so. So when I
Okay, nice. So, so here Krishna has told that once the meditation matures, we become a bhakti yoga. We do bhakti yoga. So these are the pillars of a ladder of yoga. And so without doing all this also, one can become a bhakti yoga. We can do directly bhakti. So from now he is going to explain the various steps of the bhakti yoga. That is, we all know what those steps are. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Atma Nivedanam and all that. So bhakti yoga begins with Shravanam. That means hearing about the Supreme. To know something, how will we know something? We have to hear about it. Then if we see also, we will know, but it will be limited. Only when we hear in totality, then only we will understand totally. So out of the steps of bhakti yoga, the first and the most important is Shravanam. We always have to keep hearing about Krishna stories, his glories, and various things. In this chapter, Krishna starts by telling about the importance of Shravanam. Okay, right. So now I'll start the. So now we are into the 7th chapter, the knowledge of the absolute, the 7th chapter. So we already talked about the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga, and all these steps we have already covered. And we even talked about the status, what will happen to an unsuccessful yogi, and what is the topmost yoga. We discussed about all this. We have talked very much about what the steps of an unsuccessful yogi. Because one should not fear that by doing something we may not do totally and then we will land up nowhere. So that kind of thoughts we should not have. So we talked about all these points. Now we are going to go into the 7th chapter. 7th chapter is about knowledge of the absolute. That means the total knowledge is given in this chapter. So 1 to 12 slokas, knowledge of Lord Krishna's energies. So if you want to know or like somebody, love somebody, praise somebody, and then really develop faith in him, how will we do? Only when we know about their energies, their capacities, their knowledge. So why do we normally develop admiration about on a lot of people? Some people love cricket players. Why? Because they admire the talent in them to play. And some people love great devotees because they admire the devotional service they are doing and their power in doing the devotions. Like that, every one of us have got various interests, and whoever is very good in that, we love them. So now that to love Krishna or to do devotional service to Krishna, the first thing is we should understand his greatness, his energies, what are his potentials. That is what we have to understand. So today we are going to discuss about from Sloka 1 to 12, knowledge of Krishna's energies, and then later surrendering on to Krishna. Once we know his greatness, naturally we are going to surrender on to him. Then about demigod worship and impersonalism, and later last from delusion by Maya to devotion to Krishna, because we are all in delusion of Maya. So the first sloka. Yeah, who will read first sloka? Yeah, Sri Sagana, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Shri Bhaganuvacha Maye Askata Mana Prata Yogam Yajnyan Mad Ashrayah Asamsayam Samagramam Mam Yata Jnana Sita Trinu. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pratha, how by practicing yoga and full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Krishna is telling, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is telling, now here, till now he has told Krishna, Arjuna is only hearing. But here, why did Krishna again say now here? That means when we are talking something very important, what we do is in between the talk also we'll say now here. That means now Krishna is going to tell something very important. O son of Partha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So he's telling, by practicing yoga, bhakti yoga, in full consciousness, anything we do, only when we do with full consciousness, then only we get attached to it. So with me means with Krishna, and to know him in full, free of any doubt. That's what Arjuna has told. Krishna has told. So here, why he is telling like that is, there are many bhaktas, there are many people, and Prabhupada in this sloka explains that we can realize, we normally, those who are trying to understand these scriptures, they realize in various ways, 3 ways. One is Brahma, that means they think God is light. That means they do meditation and then they can get the God. So bhakti, real bhakti is realizing the personality of Godhead. So here many times we have discussed that anything we do, Krishna reciprocates the way we believe in him, and also the way we approach to him. That is the way he believes. And the example we have taken is, we have taken the example of milk, we have taken the example of train also. We have taken both the examples. Okay. Now the milk example is, when we see milk, somebody tells it is milk, then oh, it is milk. So what we see, we think, oh, it is white in color, it is milk. When we go and smell it, we then understand, oh, milk will be like this, it will have this kind of a taste. And later, when we drink it, we get the taste of it, and also we get the benefit of it. That way also, understanding Krishna is one thing, seeing Krishna is one thing, hearing about is one thing, feeling for doing devotional service and getting personally attached to him is another thing. Like we take the train example of a train. When there was a village, when the train was first laid to that village, so all the villagers wanted to see the train. So a group of people went. So it was dark. So one boy, he was a bit lazy. When he saw the light, when the train was coming from a distance, only the light will be seen. Then he asked the station master, is the train? So the station master said, yes. He just walked away. He thought, I have seen the train, and he went off. And then when his mother asked, what is train? He says, nothing, Amma, train is nothing. It's a big light, that's all. Because that's all his understanding is. Then the next fellow waits for some more time. He hears that sound. And then he asks the station master, is the train? He says, yes. He also leaves the place and he goes and tells his mother, train is nothing but a big light and a big sound, nothing. Then the third fellow sees the train coming. And so he goes and tells how a train looks. And the fourth fellow gets into the train, travels in the train. That is when he gets the total understanding of the train. So only when totally experience something, we get the total understanding. But in that, hearing is the most important. Prabhupada says, hearing from a purified devotee purifies more than taking in a holy bath. Why do we go and take bath in a holy bath? We take bath because we want to get purified, get rid of all our sins. But here it is said that by hearing itself, we will get purified, because we will know what is good, what is bad. Once we know what is good, what is bad, definitely we will not do bad. So we'll get purified. And he also says, initially our practice of bhakti will be little unsteady. That means one day we'll do chanting, one day we don't do. One day we attend the class, the second day we bunk the class. But by hearing regularly, that is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaye, one becomes very steady. That means our mind will be attached to the truth. Here, why it is like this is why we should listen to Nityam Bhagavata Seva. That means Nityam, why we should hear Bhagavatam is because Nityam, every day we are being bombarded with the lurings of materials. That means everything around us is so luring, is so tempting. Our mind gets carried away. So in order to not get carried away, we have to be in every day hear the Krishna Kathas. Every day we have to listen to the Krishna stories. Then only we will slowly start understanding the signs of Krishna. Krishna says, I am telling you now. So who can tell the best? If I have to tell about myself, who will know more about me? By my tendency, I might hide certain things, but I know what I am to the fullest extent, because what is happening in my mind also, I know a lot of things about me which others may not know. So that way, anybody will know best again about himself. So here Krishna says, I myself, I am going to tell. So we'll go to the next one. Yeah, Harshit.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, read Harshit.
Jnanam deham vijnanam idam vakshe ashe taha eknyatva neha bhyo ajnatavyan avastete. Translation: I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, not further shall remain for you to know.
Yeah. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge. The Krishna is telling, I am going to give you the total knowledge now, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, if you know about me in total, nothing further shall remain for you to know. There is nothing more for you to know. This is what Krishna has told. So here what he is going to tell is, phenomenal and numinous means he is going to tell about Jnanam and Vijnanam. What is Jnanam and what is Vijnanam? Jnanam and Vijnanam. Jnanam means knowledge, and Vijnanam means realizing the knowledge. That means knowing that water, fire is hot. Knowing fire is hot is Jnanam. But realizing it, if we just go and touch the fire, then we feel the heat of the fire. Once we feel the heat of the fire, that is Vijnanam. You are fully conscious about it. So here Krishna says, I am going to tell you about knowledge and about Jnanam and Vijnanam. What Jnanam is going to give us? He is going to give us the knowledge about the energies of Krishna, the greatness of Krishna. That's what he is going to give us. And realizations is about his, one thing is greatness. The other one is we should know about, just because by possessing something great, we won't become great. We should be good at heart. We should be good to others. Only then we become great. That means here the Jnanam what Krishna is going to give us is about his great personality and about the sweetness of Krishna. In this second section, we will know about the greatness and sweetness of Krishna. Krishna says, I will explain everything and nothing more is there to learn once you learn all this. And Krishna tells about his Jnanam in depth in chapter 7 and 8. And about Vijnanam in 9, and about both these things in 10 and 11th chapter. 9th chapter is very important because in 9th chapter, we are going to know the heart of Krishna and his sweetness. Most of the verses are very beautiful in there. And that is the reason why, because total 18 chapters, and in the middle, he has kept the most important knowledge. And Prabhupada says Krishna is the cause of all causes, and when we know about him, when we know totally about him, there is nothing more we can know about, nothing more for us to know. So that is very important for us to know. Yeah, Sri Sagana. Sagana. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sri Sagana. Okay, Harshit, will you read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Manushyaam sahasreshu kaschid yadati siddhaye yadatam mapi siddhanam kaschimam veti tattvataha. Translation. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
Yeah. So Krishna says 1 out of 1,000 among men. There, because in those days Krishna is telling 1 out of 1,000, but today it is 1 out of million also we don't know about him. One may endeavor for perfection. All of us wants, for various reasons we approach Krishna, but we must understand one thing, that are we really truthfully knowing Krishna? Of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. We all think we know Krishna, but do we really know Krishna is the question. Okay, because why it is like that is, just to know about a normal person like us itself, it is very difficult. But to know about Krishna is much more difficult, because his potencies are unlimited, unconceivable potencies. That means we just cannot imagine his greatness. We just to understand a human body itself is very impossible and very great. Even now, doctors try, keep finding out, knowing great things about a human body. But if you want to know more about Krishna, that means Krishna has created this human body, and he has created many more of like this. So how much will be there to know about him? And he is omnipresent and omnipotent. Means he is all pervading and all powerful. We should know that Krishna is all pervading and all powerful. Only Krishna conscious person can know about Krishna, and it is very difficult to understand Krishna. We are not and the only thing where we start this is we should know that we are the material body, and we are not the material body but the spirit soul. We are that means we should know what is it we have to know here. What are the activities of a soul? As a material body, we have a lot of activities, but we should understand what are the activities of the soul. That means that soul, what is that the soul really likes? So what does the soul really like? It likes bhakti yoga, means it likes to do bhakti. So soul enters the material body, and once the soul enters the material body, it gets attached itself with the material body, and it thinks that it is the material body. So when we think that we are the material body, what is that we look for? We look for the happiness of the material body. So that is where soul forgets itself. So that is what the realization we have to clear. But many of us, we accept that we are the spirit soul and not the material body. But our actions and realization should be as per that. We say all these are, we say, once we start doing spiritual activities, that becomes bhakti yoga. Doing bhakti is very simple, but not easy. Here the question is very simple, not easy, is something what we have to understand. Very simple means we all know that chanting, there is no difficulty in it. Just sit and chant. There are no restrictions. But is it easy to do chanting? Not difficult. It is very difficult to do 16 rounds of chanting every day. Impossible to do for many. So that is all bhakti. Doing, we know everything, but doing it totally is very difficult. Then only all this we will realize only when we engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness. 4. We'll just go up to 12th chapter, 12th sloka just today. Yeah. Harshit, will you read? You want to try, Jitesh?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, let Jitesh. Jitesh, you want to try?
No.
No, you can read. No, you did SSP. What is the problem? Yeah, Harshit, read.
Can I do 7.7?
Revacha ahankara iti yame binna prakritirashtadha. Translation: Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies.
Yes. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. He is talking about the 5 elements of the body. That means the first 5 are Panchabhutas. That is earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Our body is made up of all that. Then mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are also a part and parcel of the body. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energy. We all know that we are part and parcel of Krishna. So Krishna says these are the separated material energies. So the first 5 are material, and the second 3, that is mind, intelligence, and false ego, are subtle. So so these are, and in second chapter we have studied about the 26 elements of the human body. We know that you all, I hope you remember that the first 5 are Panchendriyas. Panchendriyas is earth, water, Agni, that is fire, air, and ether. And the next 5 are Jnanendriyas, with which we get the knowledge. How do we get the knowledge? With our eyes, with our nose, with our tongue, with our mouth, and with our ears. They are the 5 jnanendriyas. The next are karmendriyas. That means the body, the parts which help us in doing our karma. They are our 2 legs, 2 hands, our sekti, our mouth, and our excretion organs. And then tanmatras. Tanmatras are Shabda, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and Sparsha. That means Shabdam is the sound we hear, Rupam is the body, Rasam is the taste, and Gandham is the smell, and Sparsha is the skin. And of course, we know about these 3, Manasu, Buddhi, and Ahankaram. Okay, then next one is Mahatattvam. The one of these 26 is Mahatattvam. What is Mahatattvam? Mahatattvam is nothing but synonymous. It is like Prakriti. That means, and there are 2 types of Prakriti, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. Para Prakriti is the living beings, and Apara Prakriti are the non-living beings. That means here, if we have to understand in a simple way, when God wants to create, so anything that has to be created, made, has to come from something else. That something else, what God is keeping in stock, is called the Mahatattva. So when God wants to create, and it is in this one is in the spiritual world like a cloud. When God wants to create one new universe, he just glances at the Mahatattvam, and immediately a small granule of the Mahatattvam becomes manifests itself into a total universe. So that is a raw material being used to form the great universe. And then the Atma, Paramatma, and all these put together total are 26. So these are all expansions of Krishna. And this is the expansion of Krishna. That is, when Krishna is in Goloka. As we all know, the Goloka forms 3/4 of the total creation of Krishna, and just the 1/4 of his creation is the material lokas. So from the Goloka, Krishna expands himself into Karnodaka Sai Vishnu or Mahavishnu. And this is how the Mahavishnu, and he is the origin of all the material universes. Okay, and he expands into Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu and enters each universe. That means the total creation has one Karnodaka Vishnu, and he expands into how many ever number of universes are there. So many Garbhodaka Sai Vishnus are there. Each universe is, if you think, oh, universe, that means we can't imagine the size of each universe. The size of each universe is like, all of you know, mustard seeds. They are just of this size. In the kitchen, we use them. So if we put all the mustard seeds in a gunny bag, that means in a big bag where we get 20 kilos or 50 kilos of rice, if you put total mustard seeds in that gunny bag, what will be the size of the mustard seeds when we compare is the size of each universe. That means we ourselves think that our universe itself is very great and very big, but the size of the universe is as small as a small mustard seed in a big gunny bag of mustard seeds. And then from the navel of the Garbhodaka Sai, that means every universe will have one Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And from the navel of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, the lotus comes. So, and the lotus Brahma is there. And Brahma is there. And in the stem of the lotus, all the 14 planetary systems are there. He expands into Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, who expands the Kshirodaka Vishnu, expands into Super Soul or the Paramatma, and he gets into every living being. We have been studying that we as a soul in this body, there is a soul and there is a super soul. So the Krishna expands into Karnodaka Sai Vishnu or Mahavishnu, and the Mahavishnu expands into number of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnus, and Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu expands into Paramatma, and he sits in every living being, not just human beings. Every living being has one Mahavishnu sitting there. This is how the total creation is made. This is very important. Try to understand. Any doubts, you can ask me later. Okay, fifth. Why don't you try, Jitesh? You are a SSP student. Okay, otherwise Harshit, read.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Nana?
Apari, yes. Apariyam etastvanyam praktem vidime param jiva bhuta mahabaho edam dharyate jagat. Translation. Besides this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there's another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of these resources inferior nature.
Translation. Besides this, so till now he has told about that how the total creation is made. Now he is telling, besides all this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind. There is one more energy, very powerful energy, which comprises of living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior to nature. Here he is using the words as exploiting, then they are inferior to nature. These kinds of words Krishna is using. He speaks about the spiritual energies here. Till now, he talked about the 8 elements of the body, and now he's talking, actually I have told you before, but now he's talking about the prakriti of the jivas, the other jivas, what I told, Jnanendriya, all those things he's doing now. Parasikti, Aparasakti, he's talking now. So he's talking about the jiva sakti, that means uses the material referred in the above sloka for their enjoyment. That means here the jivas, all of us are using all the great energies given by Krishna for our personal enjoyment, not for the enjoyment of Krishna. And for our enjoyment, as we all know, we don't mind spoiling it also. And here, once we learn Bhagavad Gita, we have to be very clear that the only Purusha, that means the only male in the creation, total creation is only Krishna. All the other living creatures are Prakriti. That means actually there is nothing like male and female. It is the only the different bodies we have taken for why there is a male and a female, to continue the generations, to continue the creations. The male and female are there, but the only supreme Lord is Krishna, and all the other creations are meant to serve Krishna, to make him happy. So, and we forget that we are here for the enjoyment of, to serve Krishna, and we think we are great, we are something very superior, and we expect everybody to serve us. Not only anybody to serve us, we even expect Krishna to serve us. Why I'm saying this is, we always say, what do you say? I want this, I want this, I want this. Whom do we say I want this? To our servants we say I want this, or to our parents we say I want this. So it is not, that means we are treating Krishna very much inferior to us, but we have to understand that Krishna is the only Lord, only Purusha, and we are all his servants. We are all, the total creation is Prakriti, meant for serving Krishna. So this part we have to be very clear. The soul enters into a male body, we consider it as a male. It enters into a female body, it is considered into female. All these are temporary. Whoever is male in this life will become a female in the next life. Similarly, it can change. So And we have to be very clear that Krishna is not a Shakti, but a Vikti. I am not talking more on this because we already know that about this, that Krishna is a Vyakti and not a Shakti. And also we have to be very clear that material energy cannot function on their own. That means a dead body, just put it there, nothing will happen. Only when the soul and the Paramatma, when the material body is combined with the living entities, that is the soul and the spirit soul, then only it starts functioning, it starts moving. So combination of both make a good function. That means a spirit soul also without any material body, that is what we call as devils, not devils, dayalu, we call the pretatma. That means those who commit suicide, we always say that they have no body and they keep around moving, so they cannot do anything. They also, even the spirit soul without a material body cannot do anything. Similarly, a material body without a spirit soul cannot do anything. So the good combination is the material body and the spirit soul. Jiva is marginal as it takes shelter of the material body and sometimes spiritual potency. Only Krishna is the controller of all jivas. We think that we are the controllers, we are able to do. I am able to attend the class here. Can we attend the class? Is it in our hands? Just now 2-3 others have joined and they lost the internet connection and left. Is it in our hands to do it? We cannot. The total controller is Krishna, and we have to be dependent on Krishna. And what is that we are doing? We have come out of the forgetful. We have forgotten that, forgotten our identity, that we are the servants of Krishna, and that is why we are behaving like this. Once we become Krishna consciousness, and that we are the energy of God, and we become again the devotees of Krishna. Siri, would you read? Hare Krishna, Siri.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Etad yonini bhutani sarvanityupa Paraya aham kritsnasya jagata prabhava pralayastatha. Translation: all created beings have their source in these two natures, of all that is material and all that is spiritual in the world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
Yeah, all created beings have their own source in these two natures. So all of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. So we have been talking that there is a material and the spiritual, both of them get together is only the actual purposeful of something can be done. Known for certain that I am both. That means me means this material body and this spiritual body put together is only me. The origin and the dissolution. So here we have to be very clear about the two energies, the material energy and the spiritual energy. Just summarizing what he has told in the previous slokas, 4th and 5th slokas, he is only summarizing that we are a part of material energy and the spiritual energy. All those material parts with the 26. Here we talked about the 26 parts of what our body is made. All those 26 points have got both the material and spiritual. He is talking about them. Spirit is eternal and material is temporary. The spirit soul is eternal. This also we are very clear. And the material is temporary. Yeah. Jitesh, you are reading this?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam midam prodam sutre maniganaiva. Translation: the
conqueror of wealth.
Conqueror of wealth. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls
are strung on a thread.
Strung on a thread.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. O conqueror of wealth. That means Krishna is addressing Arjuna. There is no truth superior to me. That means I am the highest truth. Everything rests on me, as pearls are strung on a thread. Like all of you know what a pearl chain is. And when a pearl chain is there, what we see is just the pearls. We don't see the chain in it. And but we are all very clear that there is a thread inside. Otherwise, the pearls will just go away, that they cannot be kept in a order. That way, this total universe, the greatest creation, just now we have talked about the greatest creation of Krishna, how the three Vishnus come, and how the three Vishnus come, how the universe is created, and how many Vishnus are there, all those things are there. That's a great arrangement. And if not that also, just think of our planetary system. That itself, the earth, the sun, the revolving of planets and all that, there is never a failure. How? Because there is a very strong controlling system, the way the thread is controlling the pearls. So here Krishna says everything in this cosmic manifestation rests on him. That is Krishna says. Here I means Krishna is again telling us that Krishna is a Vyakti and not a Shakti. Means he is just a person. And we can call him, we call like a material person like us. We have only one name given to us. But a material person, but a spiritual person, Krishna need not have any name. Why do we give him so many names? The reason is very simple. Because the way we address Krishna is, we address Krishna based on his qualities. Like we call him Yasoda Krishna because he is the son of Yasoda. And we call him Gopala Krishna, Gopi Krishna. That means he is a friend of Gopi. That way, whatever great, we call him Murari because he killed a Rakshasa called Mura. That way, all his names he has got because of his either achievements or his qualities. So, his Krishna's names are based on his qualities, whereas our names are given to this material body. That means if I have got one name, this is to this material body. In the next life, I am not going to have this what do you call this? Name. I'll have some other name, or I may not have a name if I am born like a tree or an animal. So that way we have to be clear. Yeah, 7. Who will read? Harshit or Siri? Who will read?
रसोऽहम् अप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि साक्षि सूर्ययो प्राणवः सर्ववेदेषु शब्दः के पौरुषं नृषु. Translation. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man.
Yeah, till now Krishna has talked about his greatness. So now he is giving 14 examples in the next 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 slokas. He is going to give various examples where Krishna is. To tell in one word, there is nothing where Krishna is not there. But rather than generalizing that there is nothing that Krishna is not there, he is specifically telling where he is. That means I am the taste in water. Why do we drink water? One is for thirst and one is our body requires. But we enjoy drinking water. Why do we enjoy drinking water? Because of the taste in it. The taste is because of Krishna. The light of the sun and moon. That means without Krishna, there is no power to sun. If there is no fire in sun, there is no light. That means the light which comes is Krishna. Every day morning, we are so happy to see the right now. There is no rain today and there is so bright sun is there. We are so happy. Where is that sun coming? Then immediately we think, oh, thank you, Krishna. Today there is a good sunlight and the moonlight. Everything is Krishna. The syllabi of the Om Vedic mantra and I think that is true. When the sound of the sun was recorded recently, the sound which was coming from the sun was saying Om. That is the sound which is coming. He says the Vedic mantra, the greatest word Om, is also, I am there in that Vedic mantra. I am the sound in ether and ability of a man. That means, how is the sound being transmitted? If I am talking, this is catching and this is carrying to all of you. How is this carrying? This is against a science which is proved that it, because of the ether, it is transmitted. And the ability of a man, we are doing all this. Krishna is there as our ability. Yeah. Harshit?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Punya Gandha Prithviyam cha Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasau Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu. Translation: I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lies, and I am the penance of all ascetics.
So I am the fragrance of the earth. What is the fragrance of the earth? We feel the fragrance of the earth when after summer, when the first rain comes, we get beautiful sound of the smell of the mud. So Krishna says, I am the smell and I am the heat in the fire. So, and I am the life of all the lives. So we all know that the soul, spirit, soul, and all. So Krishna is there in that. So without super soul, there is no soul, also existence. So he is the life, and I am the penance of all austerities. That means we do a lot of austerities to please Krishna, whether it can be to demigods or some babas or to Krishna, we do penances. So who is there in that penance? There also Krishna is only there. So Krishna is telling, I am there everywhere in this material world. Yeah, Siri. 10. Last 3.
Bijam mam sarvabhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham. Translation: O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all the existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and poweress of all powerful men.
Yeah. So, O son of Partha, know that I am the original seed of all existence, and the intelligence of all the intelligent, and the power is of all the powerfulness. That means, as we said, he is the source of everything. That means there is a plant. How does the plant come? The first plant comes out from a seed. So then the plant grows and it gives lot of fruits, and that fruit have lot of seeds, and the seeds spread and some more plants come. So that way, everything keeps, even the human race, animal race, plant race, everything keeps extending. But the first seed, what has come is what is important. He says, I am in that original seed. That means I am the origin. We all know that the total creation is created from Krishna. That means he is the seed giver. The intelligence of all intelligence. We think we are very intelligent and we think we can think very well. But suddenly, sometimes a lot of things don't strike us. A lot of things we don't remember. Why? It is all miracles of Krishna. Intelligence. If I have learned this today, I have learned this chapter. I have really concentrated and learned. I should remember always. Why? It is our inability. So if Krishna is there, we will remember everything. Our intelligence. So Krishna is the most intelligence of all the creation, and he is the most powerful in the man. And whatever intelligence, whatever we are getting, is only because of Krishna. He is there in it. 11. Harshit? Harshit, are you there? Yeah.
Balavan Balavat Chaham Kamaraga
Balavatam Chaham.
विवर्जितं धर्मविरोधो भूतेषु कामोऽसि भरतर्षभा. Translation: I am the strength of the strong, devoid of the passion and desire. I am the sex of life, is not contrary of to religious
Contrary.
principles, O Lord of Bharatas Arjuna.
I am the strength of all strong. That means the way we said the intelligence in intelligence. So that way here he is the strength and devoid of all passion. That means there is even all the passions what we have and the desires we have, Krishna is there. And when we say strong of all strength, we can understand one thing. If you look at Krishna as a boy, he used to look so small. And if you catch him, if you hold him also, his body was very soft as butter. The butter he used to take, the body was also so small, soft. But he could kill great demons. When he killed Potana, he was just 1 month or 3 months old. But he could kill. That way he killed a lot of very big demons. He killed Kamsa with his hands only. He did not use any instruments also. So when we look at him, he looks very soft, but because he has the strength in him, he is able to do it. On the contrary, that means on the other side, I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. That means whatever is bad as per religious, I am not there. That means he won't be there. And that means he is not supporting or he is not allowing us to do any bad things. Pure strength, he is the strength of all the pure activities, not non-dharmic activities. And all these are, till now he has told about all his material things. Like Krishna, we have to understand that Krishna is the source of everything. As a tree is maintained by its roots, that means we see a beautiful tree on the surface. But how is the tree standing on the surface like that? Because of the root which is inside, which is holding it tight, which is supplying all the food to it. So everything is dependent on Krishna, the way a tree is dependent on the root. Means it is the way it is holding. We have discussed that it is the chain is being held by a thread. That way everything is dependent on Krishna. Okay, till now in these 4 slokas he has explained that he has given simple examples of his powers. Today's last sloka 12. Who will read? 12. Siri, will you read? Where is this? Yeah, she said.
Yes, Mataji. Ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasastamasascha ye matta ye veti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mai. Translation: Know that all states of being, be they of God, goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Know that all the states of being, that means he is everywhere. Knowing that he is everywhere, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance. That means I am there in all these things. But we have to be clear that they are all manifested from his energy only. All these things come out of his energy only. I am in one sense everything. If you look at it in one direction, he is everything. But he is not, he is independent. He is everything, but he is independent. How is it possible? That means if he is everything, he cannot be independent. The example what Prabhupada here is, like suppose there is a jail. The prisoners are there. That means the prisoners belong to the jail. But the jailer who is day and night works for the prison, he is also in the jail, but he is an independent man. Whereas the prisoners are attached to the jail. That means they are not independent of the jail. But the jailer is independent of the prison, even though he is always in the prison only. So that way he is independent. All these things does not touch him. I am not under the modes of material nature. We know what are the material nature, the three modes of material nature, sattva, rajo, tamo, gunam. And for they are the contrary are within me. Why I am not affected by them? Because they are within me. That means he does not have any gunas. Whatever he does, that means with his approval only, we are doing all things bad. So that way we cannot say that because of you have given approval, whatever bad I am doing, you are also getting part of it. No, he won't get it, because he always wants us saying, no, don't do it. This is good, this is bad. That's what our consciousness says. Because our desires are so strong, and because he is such a kind-hearted father, he gives all those. He allows us to do all of them. So he is within us. He is the root of everything. He is supporting us to do, but he is untouched by all the material or all the three gunas. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. So, Hare Krishna. Any doubts? So I have to post 13 minutes. Yeah, you can mark the attendance. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Or you can mark the attendance and leave. From 7th chapter to 12th chapter, they're very important chapters. So try to be regular. I'll also try to be regular, and we'll finish it up. If you mark the attendance, you can leave, unless you have some doubts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.